Hi everyone. Let's see how we can use citing to draw our bottles. Have your composition of bottles set up in front of you. Measure the tallest bottle. This will be your unit of measurement. You can turn that unit sideways, horizontal, to see how wide your composition will be based on that tallest bottle. The composition I have here ends up being about 1.5 bottles wide. This will help me lay out my drawing on my piece of paper so that the drawing won't be too big or too small. Now that I know that it's about 1 by 1.5, I can set up where the first bottle is on the page by drawing the plumb line. I can also use this measurement to see how far apart the other bottles are. For example, the left edge is about half a unit to the left of the left side of that tallest bottle. This is using comparative measurements. The bottle itself is about 1/4 of the height, so there's a 1:4 ratio. These ratios help me keep the correct proportions in my drawing. The next thing I'm looking at are level lines. These are horizontal lines that show me more spatial relationships. Notice the bottles that are closest to me are lower on the picture plane, and that sriracha bottle that's farthest from me is highest on the picture plane. By looking at these level lines, I can see where to place my bottles vertically on the page. The next thing I'm going to pay attention to are the ellipses. Note that ellipses that are lower than your eye level are going to look wider than ellipses that are at eye level, and ellipses that are above your eye level will again open up. This is easy to see on bottles that have labels because that outer edge of the label shows you the curvature of your ellipse, whether it's more open or more closed. Pay attention to the open or closed shape of the ellipse as you draw your bottles for better accuracy and better perspective. After taking some time to observe your composition, paying attention to comparative measurements, level lines, and ellipses, it's time to start drawing. Remember, this is an underdrawing. You should be using loose, sketchy lines to help you make an accurate portrayal of each bottle. You will start with the cylinder, draw the upside down bowl, and the cylinder on top, just as we did in the previous exercises. When beginning the second bottle, remember to use level lines and comparative measurements to make sure you're placing the bottle on the right place on your page. Because you will have some bottles that are behind other bottles, you will want to use a technique called drawing through. This is when you pretend as if the object in front is not actually there, and you draw through it. This will help you create a more symmetrical bottle. If you don't do the drawing through technique, you could end up with a bottle that is lopsided on one side. Continue using all of your drawing techniques and citing skills to draw all of the bottles in your composition. Remember to use level lines, comparative measurements, drawing through, and pay attention to the ellipses. At the end, you can add final details such as caps, labels, and the table edge. Don't forget to turn in your assignment.